everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for visiting with me today. It's always great to see all of your beautiful smiling faces. So today we're going to talk about Gypsy Rose's pregnancy announcement. Yeah, big news. First of all, I want to say if it were anyone else, the pictures of the announcement are quite cute. But I wonder if she's having a child because she really wants one or because it's a publicity stunt. I mean, it's working. We're talking about it, so it is working. Or does she really want to be a mom? And how much of her mother's influence is going to affect the way this child is raised? I mean, there's got to be some, at least a little bit. And I have seen people wondering why a woman fresh out of prison after living the life she lived would want to have a baby so quickly after gaining some freedom. Well, she's not getting any younger. She's not old by any means, but, ladies know we have a pretty limited window as women to have children, and maybe she actually thought of that. But I seriously doubt much thought went into this at all. I'm not thinking there was too much thinking going on. But now I'm not going to sit here and be mad that she's still married and got pregnant by another man. These things happen all the time, a lot more often than people realize, I think. So, I'm not going to act like she's more crappy of a person for doing that. A lot of women do that. I'm not saying she's not a crappy person. I'm just saying not a crappy person for this. But, a lot of people probably think it's incredibly cruel for her to post this on social media, knowing the widespread attention, it'll get, and that Ryan will see all this hubbub and be hurt by it. After all, he wanted a family with Gypsy for some reason. And then Ken came weaseling himself back into her life after he realized there might be something in it for him. But I feel like, maybe it seems a little cruel, but, Ryan, he has to move on. And there are a lot of great women out there, far better than Gypsy. But, couples break up and pregnancies happen, move on. These things happen. It sucks, but they do. And I know, easier said than done, but it has to be done. Maybe she thinks this baby will make her a more sympathetic character. But, whatever her reasons, a baby is on the way now. And people are probably already calling the Child Welfare Division in Louisiana wasting their time, because that's what people do. And I'm just going to ask y'all, don't do that, okay? Yes, I am worried about that baby, but none of us have any idea what is happening behind closed doors. So I do hope everyone just controls themselves and they don't start filing false reports, which it is a popular thing people do to parents on social media. Someone even threatened once to call CPS on me not that long ago, and I laughed it off because my kid is 25. So, give it your best shot. They were under the impression I had a young kid, I guess. Now, calling CPS on the Frankies, I think that was warranted. I do, but who knows? Maybe this pregnancy will teach her something. It probably won't, but maybe it will. There's hope, right? Will she be the same kind of mother as Dee Dee? Well, it's the only mother and she knows, and it doesn't appear that Christy is much of an example, much of a role model, but maybe she is. I don't know. Although it does seem Mia grew up okay. Hopefully she learned how not to be, but that can lead to another extreme. Cinema Shogun, love him, says he's terrified for that baby, and I get it. I absolutely understand why anyone would feel that way. I really, really do. I don't feel that great about it either, personally. Now Gypsy has a chance to seriously seek appropriate treatment for any past trauma. Now, even if you don't believe someone had trauma, if they believe they had trauma, it's worth exploring. No matter what, I think we can all agree Gypsy grew up in dysfunction, and I honestly hope she can get the help that she needs so she can raise that baby. I know we're all concerned, but the baby is coming now, so there's There's nothing you can do about that. The baby's coming. Provided a healthy pregnancy, which, I hope for her, certainly. But none of us grew up in ideal homes. People talk about an ideal home. We never grew up in an ideal home. But I'm sorry. And I'm willing to bet more than half of us have lived in dysfunction. I mean, my family put the fun in dysfunction. We really did. But, I raised a great young man, and I owe my mother for that. Because of the crap she put me through, it taught me how to be a better mom. So let's hope that rings true for Gypsy. Even though the level of ABUSC Gypsy was put through is probably definitely not what she makes it out to be. I think my best advice for Gypsy would be, make all your socials private and get out of the limelight for the sake of a happy and healthy pregnancy and for the sake of the baby. It's not good for the baby. But a lot of babies are born into chaotic situations, and they're born into things like poverty, they're born addicted to drugs, or they're just unwanted. There's a homeless pregnant addict that stands on the corner right down the street begging for money every day. And I'm worried about that baby more than I am Gypsy Rose's baby. But I know Gypsy is diabolical. That's not lost on me. But we have no idea what's going to happen with this child. Now, I know it's very likely that this baby, for Gypsy, is a pawn, a play-in piece to keep attention on her, even though she says that she doesn't want to be famous. And shame on her if that's the case. And, it probably is. I'm not hopeful that this baby is little more than an accessory. The 2025 Birkin bag. There's a shred of hope that it's Ryan's, and, I think he'll put up a fight for the kid if it does happen to be his. I had a friend once, and this is a good story. She was separated from her husband, and she got pregnant. And the person she claimed was the father of the baby that she was pregnant with, he was horrible. He was awful. He called the baby names like little bastard and all kinds of names like that. He was nasty. I hated that guy. Hated him. Eric hated him too. But she tried to sue him for child support, so he demanded a DNA test. And I want to add, this child was the spitting image of her other two children, who were the spitting image of their father, her soon-to-be ex-husband. Long story short, her ex-husband is the dad of the baby. But he had a vasectomy. How did she get pregnant? Well, she got artificially inseminated because they saved his sperm in case they decided they wanted another kid down the road, because he would not agree to having the vasectomy reversed if it came to that. Oh, and this was all happening when I worked at the hospital, so I had a little insight. Her doctor was the only doctor at the facility that worked with in vitro and AI patients. So at first I wondered why she went to him instead of the OBGYN she went to with her other kids, because she said she loved them. But now I know why. Her son told me all of this, and her daughter later confirmed the information. But isn't that crazy? I just see Gypsy leading these guys down some crazy path. Probably not as crazy as my friend, but Gypsy crazy. Anyway, Gypsy says she wants to be everything her mom wasn't. And that really bothers me, because she does not pass up an opportunity to twist that knife, does she? She doesn't pass up one opportunity for that. So I wonder if E! or Lifetime is going to give her a little family reality show. Probably. Because the world is twisted and effed up. People say Ken sees dollar signs with Gypsy, but I think they both may be seeing dollar signs with this baby. I mean, they have to be. She might be getting baby food deals. Pampers will want her, Huggies, infamil. She'll write a parenting book. She'll be featured in parenting magazines. While she's pregnant, she'll probably get all kinds of offers and free stuff and maternity clothes. This is why she restarted her YouTube channel, because she's going to monetize the hell out of this pregnancy and this child. Unaliving her mother really worked out for her. It really did. Because if she was just some regular person off the street, no one would bat an eye. No one would care. And she knows that. It's like she really lucked out and found a huge loophole to financial success with a criminal record. Instead of working towards a doctorate degree, she did prison. Same time commitment, less work. In reality, it's less work. Now, I really don't care if she makes money on social media. That's not an issue for me. She definitely has to make some kind of living, especially with a child on the way. And Lord knows she's not going to work a real job. I'm not going to tell anybody that they shouldn't watch her. Do what you want to. And yes, even her haters are going to watch her. But as with her Lifetime show, I won't be watching. I'm just one person, and my views, social currency, when weighed against the thousands and millions of others she'll get, it doesn't matter. But at least I know I didn't watch her stuff. Now let's talk about Ryan for a minute. I just want to talk about this. I do not think he's controlling. I think he had reason to be suspicious, and as a husband has the right to know who she was texting. And look at how things turned out. He had reason to be curious or suspicious, whatever it was. And the whole thing with them fighting and her filming it, and her saying he was reminding her of her mom, she's going to always use that as a way to defend her behavior. And he wasn't even raging. He just didn't see why she felt the need to film their discussion. And I get it. I would have been upset too. Couples argue. They disagree. That's part of life. So no, based on what I've learned, I don't think he was controlling. I think she was planning her escape and was already at least emotionally cheating on Ryan. And I feel like in some degree, he knew that. So yes, Gypsy Rose is pregnant, and Ryan wanted a family with her, but this dude is going to get the family. I still don't think that there's any longevity there. Like, to me, you remember the show Ed, Edd and Eddy? And one of the Eds had Plank, like the character Plank. He was just a plank of wood. That's what he reminds me of when he's with her. He's just like a stiff plank, just like not comfortable at all. So anyway, that's it. That's all I have for this video. I will talk to everyone later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.